'cause a black shadow crossed my path, and my baby ain't coming back. There's a cold wind blowing, even though it's 96 degrees, and I'm crying out for someone to help me, even though I can see that she's a bad, bad woman, spending every dollar that I make. Oh, she's a bad, bad woman, and there's nothing I can say. Anything to help me, oh Lord, anything to help me try and forget those long legs and kisses. Why she closed her eyes, well, she'd wrap herself around me, wrap herself around me. Oh, I can't believe they were lies, 'cause she's a bad, bad woman. She's such a bad, bad girl. She's a bad, bad woman. She's a bad, bad girl. She's a bad, bad woman. I don't wanna hear no more. She's a bad, bad girl. She's such a bad woman. She's a your There's a whole lot of pain going round, but I can't think about anyone else, 'cause it's me that's gonna drown. Throw me a lifesaver, she ain't worth it, 'cause I'm drowning in a sea of despair. I know she's no good.
Maybe I'm foolish, maybe I'm blind, thinking I can see through this and see what's behind. Got no way to prove it, so maybe I'm lying. But I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put your blame on me. Take a look in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see it clearer, or are you deceived in what you believe? 'Cause I'm only human after all, and you're only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put your blame on me. Some people got the real problems. Some people out of love. Some people think I can solve them.
Hey.
Heavens above, I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. Don't ask my opinion, don't ask me to lie. Then beg for forgiveness for making you cry. For making you cry. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all.
You leave me when I'm at my worst, feeling as if I've been cursed, bitter cold within. Days go by and still I think of you. Days when I couldn't live my life without you, without you. You still a whisper on my lips, feeling my fingertips is pulling at my skin. You leave me when I'm at my worst, like I'm feeling as if I've been cursed, bitter cold within. Days go by and still I think of you. Days when I couldn't live my life without you. Days go by and still I think of you. Days when I couldn't live my life without you.
Hey now, all you sinners, put your lights on. Put your lights on. Hey now, all you lovers, put your lights on. Put your lights on. Hey now, all you killers, put your lights on. Put your lights on. Hey now, all your children, leave your lights on. Better leave your lights on, 'cause there's a monster
Saturday night.
Well, waiting on a friend who ain't come yet. And I might not get up for 3 or 4 days. Got to make a little bit go a long way. Woman who likes to come around. Cute little hippie girl lives in town. Brings a bag of records and she plays until dawn. Give me a little love and then she got to go home. When times are hard, when you start feeling low, let yourself go.
Saturday night, chilluminatti have entered the temple of chill. I think I see Rockin Rio over there through the smoke. Rockin Rio, are you there?
I am here.
Excellent. Tom, tone it down.
Tone it down.
I'm just trying to get Tom to chill.
Oh, well, Tom.
He's going honeybee while I'm trying to bring you in. Hey James, what's going on? TX, good to see you. Rowdy, Flippy. Hey, Rio's in there, greatest ever. Woohoo! Amber 2, she's in there. All right, well, just we can get the party started, eh? The epic journeyman lurketh. He's in VR land somewhere.
Yeah, I have not seen him activate yet, but
no.
You know, things are different out there in the islands.
Yeah, I know. He's 2 hours behind us. He's 2 hours behind me, and you're only 2 hours ahead of me now, right?
Yeah. I'm in the undisclosed secret second bunker out here in the old hill country.
Dude, you remember at the end of when we first started this show on TFR? Here, I got a blast from the past, bro. I just happened to see it because I'm... here. It's a blast from the past. We used to end the show with this song right here.
NCE, First Annual International Cake Fight, where no matter how you slice it, it's a piece of cake. Now let's go to Lisa on the sidelines, who has all the delicious details on this frosty fight.
Why those feet cold? We just getting started, don't you tiptoe, tiptoe. Waste time with the masterpiece, to waste time with the masterpiece. You should be rolling me, you should be rolling me. You're a real life fantasy, you're a real life fantasy. But you're moving so carefully, let's start living dangerously. Talk to me, baby. I'm going up on this, sweet, sweet baby. Whoa. Let's lose our minds and go fucking crazy. Keep on hoping.
See, it might not seem like anything right now. I mean, you know, it's a nice number or whatever, but we're talking like a long time ago in the alternative media, man. You know, and that was that was how we ended our show. Remember that, Rio?
Well, this was I think when did we officially start? It was 2014 on TFR?
I don't know.
Is it 10 years already?
Yeah, it's 10 years for sure. I just don't remember. I don't remember exactly if it was 2014 or 2013.
Yeah, it's been a long time now. We've been doing this now. Things have changed quite a bit, have they not?
Drastically, dude. And that's why we brought up. It says on the title of the show something. It says, "What's that smell?" And then it says, "I don't know. I think it's the memory hole." And that's why. It's because there is so much shit that has gone down this memory hole, dude, in the last decade. But specifically in this last year, because just of the way that information flows now, fucking shit disappears almost immediately because you're being hit by something else from 20 different directions.
Well, it's like information overload now. You know, you look at one story and there's something new going on every 10 minutes. It seems.
You can't fucking barely remember Trump getting assassinated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, think about it. Like we covered the 2016 thing, right? I mean, think about how far back that is already, right?
Oh, yeah, it's crazy, man. And so there's been, we've been on Rev Radio for a long time. So I mean, in this last year, 5 different people have passed on over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A few.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of people. Hey, John Wayne was kicking ass over there, Flippy says. Yeah, I listened to the first part of his show earlier. But yeah, no, shit's gone down the memory hole. I mean, even this year, it's like you try to remember back, and I don't know if anyone else feels the same way as I do. Maybe you do also, Rio. Maybe people in the audience do. It seems like that whole era from the Michelle Pfeiffer. It's like when the Michelle Pfeiffer incident took place, it's like everything before that seems like a fucking blur. I mean, I got memories of it, but it just seems like that period of time just seems to like wipe everything out, and everything just keeps sucking backwards.
Yeah, well, that was a major event in its own right. You know, it changed everything. It changed our privacy. It changed our outlook on government influence, and showed us just how far things were willing to go to, control the masses. There's a whole lot. I mean, 2020 was a big change in a lot of things.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we should do some work on looking at it, because there's based on just, if you think about it from a perspective of how many people were sitting at home and how many people are on the internet, and how many people are sitting there on the internet every minute of every day, just fucking sitting there. And you think about, when we talk about cognitive warfare, you think about how people could have, a whole mass of people could have been changed forever by locking their brains into a thinking pattern.
Yeah.
And it's I mean, the thing is I know this, what I'm saying is a really big concept. I mean, to go and look at it and see, I mean, because if you just think about how many people were were glued to their devices at that time, and just the weaponization of information. And I think we'll find that I think society changed then, and maybe that has a lot to do with it. There's a lot of people. Go ahead.
I remember as that became a thing, right? We're approaching the 5-year marker of that. And I remember being here on my Christmas vacation, and the trip home to
I remember that.
that I got brutally sick after the flight home in early January of 2020. And that was the beginning of noticing things unraveling, and the changes that started. And it's weird. It's weird to look back and think that was 5 years. It's a 5-year anniversary of that already.
I know, that's what I mean. There's some weird. It's like a weird glitch or something, and it's like everybody went brain dead from that year forward. Everything changed, and everything that happened before that, it's like it never happened. It's like it happened to somebody else. You know what I mean? I mean, because the thing is everybody's lifestyles and mentalities changed too, because now everybody got, instead of being out and about and going here and going there and, everybody started hunkering down in their little hovel, and people got used to being these creatures of, living in that, it's like one of those habitats, for those hamster habitats.
It was we got used to the feeling of lockdown, right? In a way.
That's what I mean. But now it's like you see people don't even want to leave their house at all. And it's like going to the store as a household. No one wants to go to the store. You want to go to the store? I mean,
I'm just, and I think part of it for like us is just getting older and not wanting to be bothered going out to do things as much anymore. But a lot of it is we all got so used to going out as a necessity rather than for whatever, just to go out. It's a different mindset now, but like nobody goes out anymore unless they have to.
Nobody goes out anymore. I know, it's funny. Okay, listen. I did my best to find where this clip is or where the actual quote comes from. I mean, the only place that this exists comes from something called Axiom or Axios. Axios.com, and it says, one day ago, Elon Musk blasts part of MAGA's as contemptuous fools. Musk calls MAGA element contemptuous fools as virtual or Civil War brews. Elon Musk, standing in a crowd, wears a Make America Great Again hat. Hold on. Let me read you guys this whole article. Hang on. Alright, so let me see. Where did it go? Okay, so it says, Elon Musk condemned a segment of the MAGA movement as contemptible fools who should be purged from the Republican Party in a social media post on Friday, which I have not seen. That's what I'm saying. So right now there's a hearsay. So why it matters. Virtual right-wing civil war has broken out over race, class, immigration, and future of President-elect Trump's movement. And Musk is increasingly at odds with Trump's historic base. The schism may force Trump to ultimately take sides between largely white working-class supporters who first made MAGA succeed and the techno-libertarian billionaires like Musk, who are at the center of this new administration.
I tell you, you're putting a lot of effort into separating Trump and Musk, right?
Dude, did not I say this a fucking, 6 weeks ago? The campaign against Musk was going to start?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, listen. Yeah, I have an Axios to grind, exactly. Do you guys want this article? I'll drop it in the chat over here. I think Epic Journeyman is rattling the cages.
Yeah, I see he has
Does he cometh?
joined the chat.
Well,
Let's
ask him
see,
to get it.
I
See if
will.
you, see if
I
you
will
can,
add him to the
yeah.
call.
See if you can bring him into the mix. So it says Musk spent the next 24 hours defending Ramaswamy and advancing his argument that America needs highly skilled immigrants to fill these high-tech jobs. What
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like, isn't that like? I mean, once you get like that, right? So let's say there's a bunch of high-tech Indian workers over there. Okay, there's a bunch of. Hey, dude, it's the show starts at the same time every Saturday at 7 p.m. Pacific, dude. 7 p.m. Pacific. I usually play music for 20 minutes. Tonight, I just brought Rio on and was wondering where you were. He's always over there, trying to like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like it's somebody else's fault he ain't here. Hey, dude.
There we go.
Did you get him?
Yeah, I'm getting him.
All right. What was I saying before that?
They move things around in Skype again.
I was about to say something, and now it's gone. Now it's gone.
All right, we are adding.
Dude, I don't know what time it is when you're on. I don't know what time it is. Yeah, show the screenshot to prove yourself or whatever. You don't have to prove yourself to me, dude. Dude, if it's 7 o'clock here, what the fuck time is it in Hawaii?
It's 5, and you said 5:30.
I said I usually play music for 20 minutes. I didn't say that, but I usually do. So I said 7:30. So I said 7:30.
Which is your time.
Right.
It's 5:30 my time.
Right, to cover my ass and give myself enough time and give you enough time. It was a courtesy to you, so you didn't have to. You
No, it's
said
all
you were
good.
going to play virtual
I'm
reality
just-
games, and I was
you know.
trying to. See, man, this is
I'm
what
just making
happens when
chat.
you try to be
That's
nice. You try to be nice. What happens? Hey, John, what's going on?
Well, he's out there chasing the little people, I think.
Yeah, no,
Oh, don't say their
Are you
name.
chasing the little
man.
people around the island or what?
Don't say their name. Yeah, it's a thing.
what?
Especially this time of year for some reason. But yeah, no, I'm not chasing.
No, we were just talking about this fucking. This effing Musk.
Oh, he's being a total jerk, isn't he? It's
Well,
amazing.
no, it's just funny because the thing
Well,
is,
it's predictable, right? It's totally predictable.
well, it doesn't. Honestly, it really doesn't really matter. Like I said, most of this shit. I mean, if what was going on normally this is actually really very transparent if you think about it, because what's going on here is total transparency. Because this shit normally goes on behind closed doors. Okay. This shit goes on behind closed doors, and then a couple months later, some shit happens. Trump does something because they already dealt with this, and it ain't out in front of everybody. And so I see Elon Musk running around the podium, throwing his arms up in the air, wearing a black MAGA hat,
Make an X sign. Make an X sign.
Yeah, it looks like a fucking WWE event, and whatever. I mean, look at. The bottom line is, why don't they just start genetically engineering some people then? If there's you have smaller people, you could genetically engineer
Like
small
the
people.
remake of the Willy Wonka, right? With the Oompa Loompas, where it's one Indian guy like reprojected everywhere all the time.
Exactly.
Oh my God, nightmare!
Exactly.
A million Vivics running around.
No, well, listen, man, I called today. I've been having problems with my cell phone issues. Okay, I make a call, I can't hear it ring, but it's ringing because it goes to voicemail on the other person, but it doesn't go instantly to voicemail. It goes to voicemail after it rings like 20 fucking times, and then it goes to voicemail. But I never hear it ring, and all I hear is it go to voicemail. So I called to get the problem solved earlier today. Guess what? I was talking to an Indian dude. And I don't know where he was. He could have been in India for all I know. And, God bless him if he is. But, I mean,
Well, yeah, a lot of the call centers are actually over there. So.
That's what I mean. What do they need to come over here for?
Yeah,
I mean,
it
they
definitely
just want
beats
some.
collecting wood in the Salabans.
They
The
just want
tigers,
some. They just want some. Listen to me. They want free slaves, is what he wants. He wants some slaves over
100%.
here. Free slaves to come over here and work as interns or whatever. Fucking sleeping on the couch over at Google in the hallway, eating Fruit Loops and pizza pie from the snack bar and hot dogs. You know, no, seriously though. I mean, this stuff is inflammatory, and you know, it's not good. You know, people are gonna get pissed, and I think they already are. You know, the thing is, because the reality of the situation is as good as it all sounds and everything. Mass deportations. A certain group of people, really feel that's a necessary thing that has to happen. But no one really realizes exactly what that fucking means, because a lot of the people that they're just going to be able to go grab and get are ones that are actually working and have jobs. They work somewhere. So I mean, just all
Right,
of a sudden,
so they find them. Right,
that's what I mean. They're already
respectable citizens.
That's what I mean. They're working somewhere. They're doing something, but they're easy to catch. Those guys, and that's the one. They're not going to go they're not going to go hunting people down. Okay, they're going to grab all the people that have jobs, and then what's that going to do? This is going to fuck everything up. Because a lot of those people are working, doing stuff, man, construction and this and that, whatever the fuck they're doing.
Agriculture, right?
Just think of 1 million people automatically disappearing somewhere, and then a shitload of people getting fired over at the federal government because the AI doesn't need them anymore. So I mean, when they're announcing AGI now, they're saying, oh, well, we have AGI, and they're saying that someday we're gonna have super intelligence. Jack, believe me, they got super intelligence already. There's no fucking question. Because at the point that you've reached AGI, you could use that to help you get to the super intelligence in a way that you wouldn't be able to it before. And now you can use that AGI to help you get to the super intelligence, which they've already done. You know that.
Well, we're pretty much there now.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
I just keep imagining people rounding up these people like the gorillas in the original Planet of the Apes, right? Get the with the horns, and they got the guys on horseback running around throwing the nets around people and rounding up the humans. I mean, is that not what it is? I mean, that's basically what we're talking about here. The way it's being developed and being projected to people, it's like it is like that. It's like this, this whole roundup. Like this is going to be such a rounded up to not just radicals, but the immigrants and like animals.
Yeah.
Apes are not apes. And all this stuff, right? And they're going to go out there and do this stuff. And then, we're going to have our epiphany at the end with the Statue of Liberty sunk in the sand and go with it, because that's kind of where it's going, right?
Yeah, it's what it's like is you have some people of color living across the street. You see this big truck pull up with a bunch of military people. And you go, oh, look out, honey. Look, they're coming for Mr. and Mrs. Gonzalez and their kids. And, and then all of a sudden they come over to your house.
My landscape.
Now they come to your house because you were okay with them deporting people and lining people up and throwing them in a truck and taking them off somewhere and fucking doing that to people. And if you're into that, the mechanism can always be turned around on you. And that's the thing. You got to be in control of the mechanism in the first place. You can't allow it to happen for some people because you hate them. It has to be the same for everybody. You know what I mean? Or whatever. It's not hate, but whatever it is, whatever people's issue is, everybody's got their own reason why they don't like immigration. People need to, step up and take care of that shit. But I mean, in the world that we're living in, seriously, you guys, let's really be honest about this shit. In order to solve this immigration problem, this shit would take about 5 fucking minutes. Okay? Facial recognition. Okay? All right. You're in here? All right. Facial recognition. Okay. Your time's up. Get the fuck out. People can come here and work. Come and work. We need your help. Go over there. Scan your face. Get the fuck out. They're still paying into Social Security. They're still doing all the shit they're supposed to be doing. They're just on the books. I mean, honestly, people are in such distress and they want to get in the country bad enough. I bet you could even make them wear a bracelet. You could put some fucking bracelet on their arm and just go, you wear this bracelet from now on. Period.
And you're here for 5 years until you get your trial or whatever to determine if you're illegally or not your asylum is granted or not. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And the thing about it is, like, once it gets to this point like that, like everybody's just, you know, who really hates immigration? Who really, really hates immigration? Native Americans. Ask them how that went. You know, ask them how that went. You know, all those Europeans coming over here, man. Everybody here is the son or daughter of an immigrant.
Listen, with these fucking drones, they're just flying around over New Jersey. How hard is it on the border with those drones flying around? You say you don't come across that line right there, otherwise, watch out, homie. You know, you don't even have to do that. I mean, those drones.
That's a good application of the active denial system with the microwaves. I think that's a really good one that they could actually do. You don't need to build a wall; just build an electromagnetic fence.
That is
just,
so.
You know, once you get too close, that's it.
It's funny, man. That's funny that you say that. But just because it's just like a futuristic, I've got to get out beyond the
forbidden zone.
Got to get past the, yeah. What happened? I don't know. I got to power through it. You know, does it get hotter and hotter as it get closer to the source?
Yeah, it does. Exactly right. Yeah.
Fuck that.
Becomes unbearable. And then, you know, when you get too close, that's come out. The gorillas and the horseback come and get you. I mean, that's how it's going to be. I don't know how we got to this point where we just get advanced in technology and go more primal as we go. Right, like it's like this dichotomy of where the more advanced we get, the more we long for the basic instincts of our, you know, primal self. Right. I guess it makes sense in a weird way, but it's really dangerous, right? It really is. Come on, man. Just this is something we can figure out. You know, it doesn't seem that difficult. Like you're saying, it's not hard at all to figure out this stuff. You know, it's because people are trying to take advantage of the system.
Well, the thing is that what that would require require the rest of everybody else who doesn't like immigration to also scan their face. You'd have to scan your face.
Well, it's not me. I can't do that. No. I mean those brown people over there.
No, I'm saying that's what I'm saying is that's where the whole thing fucking breaks down. Is what I'm saying. Is because the minute you got to do something in order to make that go away, you don't want to do that. Nobody wants that. Do you want facial recognition? No. Nobody does. It doesn't matter what you want because it's already there. So, the thing is, if it's there and it's floating around in the background and everybody's using it and but just not pretending like it doesn't exist, how about we just fucking all admit that it's there, that's gonna exist, and the future is here, and you're gonna have to fucking scan your face, and that's the end of it. And then put the rest, all this bullshit. All these passwords, all this other shit. How many times you go scan, beep, 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 fucking hang your card in front of some screen in the fucking store, enter in your password. Do you want to fucking donate?
Imagine Clearasil commercials.
Just say.
I don't want to look bad at my facial recognition scan. Clearasil, 2 weeks to clear skin. Yeah, totally, man. I mean, it's all monetized. It's all turned into commercial. Advent, you know,
I saw this
campaign.
Well, and think about how we've been desensitized into it, right? First, it was the Touch ID on the phones. Now it's the Face ID on the phones. Mm-hmm. You know, so everybody's used to like facial scans anyway, right? You just do it to unlock your phone. So, you know, why not do it to unlock your bank account or unlock your supermarket bill or whatever else that goes along with it?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's only. Is it just? It's it's going to be retina scan. Facial recognition, retina scan, and then there'll be a blue check mark by your face when you go on your social media.
Oh, yeah. Right. To get the purple, they need your DNA.
Verified.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, even the other day, I was in the airport in Orlando. You just hand them your driver's license, and you stand in front of the camera. They take your picture and they compare it, and they've got all your flight information, everything right in front of them. They don't even ask you for your boarding pass anymore. Well, I mean, they do at the gate, but to get through the TSA checkpoint, they just look at your picture.
So you have TSA pre-check? Yeah, that's.
No, I don't even have pre-check. That's for everybody now. That's the general.
Okay, so they can put everybody's fear to rest and say, well, listen, what we do is we use quantum computers. and we use the blockchain. So we're going to use quantum blockchain to protect you and your identity. If you'll give us your eyeball scan, we'll protect you on the quantum space. Right? I mean, that's what they're going to say, right? I don't know.
And that's exactly what it is. That's what, you know. They'll do it in the name of safety and security, but in reality, it's all about the control.
Plus, I mean, once it's facial recognition, you could just send out the dogs, man, with those robots. Like, you just go get the Tesla robot with that NVIDIA $249 brain and put those in those Tesla robots and then fill a truck up in the back. And those fucking things will just run around and come up to your face and look at it. No, it's not him. Look at the next face.
And flamethrower you.
They'll fucking, we're looking for Jose Feliciano. You know.
The robot dog will be the assassin of the future.
The robot dog will come up behind
real?
you.
Have you seen that? Ukraine, they're doing that. I mean, well, it's been proposed they're doing it. There's no real pictures of doing it yet. They have like the whole thing of like they're taking the drones to drop these robot dogs in the trenches, and, like flamethrower people. Dude, I mean, that's like for real, man.
Man, Genghis, you know what Genghis Khan used to do? He didn't have drones and robot dogs. He had fucking chow chows. And they'd come in there and they'd let the dogs out. And then just the chow chows, they had these leather fucking, protective vests on them and shit. And they'd just be running through just eating people. And then Genghis Khan would just come in and pick up the pieces. Imagine a whole town being torn to shreds by dogs. Well, imagine these dogs. They don't stop, man. They won't stop. Now, are these battery dogs, are they solar powered? Now, what happens when they run out?
They just stop when they run out. Yeah, that's the problem. Like, so the robot dogs, like this
did
is
they
a
put the
concept
charging?
plan I've seen.
Did they put the charging hole in the ass so that the dog sits on it, like it's taking a shit when he charges it?
Sit. Roll over. Boy. Maybe you have to roll over to get charged. I roll over to get charged. I'm not sure. But did you see the speed these things run? They're cheetah speed now, man. They're 70 miles an hour. 70 miles an hour, dude.
You ain't outrunning it, that's for sure.
No, yeah, dude. It's freaking amazing.
I mean,
and
you'd be good to be able to outrun it on a motorcycle.
I keep hearing some echo. It's like we're in a.
Is it from me? It's possible.
Maybe it is. I don't hear echo. I just thought it was.
I just hear like some reverb, like you're in a drive room.
Yeah,
or tower
yeah,
room,
like a reverb or something.
Yeah, well, I'm on the laptop and.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah, that's what it is.
There could be some reverb in this room.
No worries. I was just over here fucking with my. I was fucking with my board. I go, man, I thought I hit a button. But there was an effect on here. It's like, damn.
Don't hit a button.
Sounds like I'm outside in a tunnel.
Yeah.
I'm calling. This is Jimmy. We're coming to you from the underground.
It's the hardwood floors and the solid walls here in the bunker.
No, so what were we saying?
That's are really good for. Sorry, by the way, is like trenches and subways and tunnels and things like that because they're so small and low profile and so fast, right?
Now, John,
you put a freaking flamethrower on those things and they're running around just clearing out the tunnels. My God, man,
John. John's in the chat. John, wait. Hey, John, you haven't seen those robots with the black face where they have, it looks like a humanoid, but it's got this black glass face, man. Have you seen those? I'll try to go get some of this shit here and we'll throw it up here. But no, I'm just saying so it could be possible with a robot army. And facial recognition. I mean, I listen. I watched a video where, and this is a long time. It's a couple years ago, where Elon Musk was saying, yeah, all I'd have to do is just get a drone and then and program it with facial recognition, and then just let it fly around to find a person to kill him. I mean, he even said that. So I mean, obviously, he knows that. Right, so now he's got these robots. I'm just saying, I don't know. It seems a bit fishy. It seems like a weird.
Even if you look at his robots, the Tesla bots, right? They look like the ones from that movie I, Robot with Will Smith. They were U.S. robotics at the time, but they look just like him. It's a little creepy.
It's unimaginative in my opinion, right? Like it seems weird to me that he'd pick a style that's so directly derivative. I mean, the only thing that's different is like color scheme, right? Isn't it like copper and black kind of basically instead of or black and silver or something instead of being like the ones in iRobot, which are just basically black and white, little translucence to them. Yeah, dude, I have to wonder like how much this is a psychological warfare campaign in a sense, right? Like how much is just to make you think it's real?
No, I know. I get it. No, he was caught with somebody in a costume. So he was definitely this robot. There was a robot thing they were doing, and they caught somebody, and it wasn't a fucking robot. Okay.
Yeah, it's the guy with the controls, 30 feet away.
But it has gotten to this level though now. So now it has. So I'm gonna put this on the screen. Hang on, let me get rid of this. Too bad. That's nice. All right, here goes the waterfalls. Here comes these fucking robots, man. Let me just say, these robots are gonna say, "Let me see your papers, motherfucker," and then hit you with a taser. Fucking, got your ID.
Are your papers in order?
Exactly, dude. There's no question. When you see this shit, it's crazy, man. I'm just saying, if you don't think this robot could fucking come and find you somewhere, find me this guy right now.
Tesla will finally unveil Optimus Gen 3 later this year with incredible improvements, especially in its tasks, which are set to be incredibly useful. Elon compared it to a real-life version of 3PO from Star Wars, but that's not the biggest surprise Elon just revealed about Tesla's humanoid robot. You might not know this, but Elon Musk confirmed that Tesla could produce this robot for just $10,000, and by 2025, thousands of Optimus units will be operational in their factories. These are mind-blowing numbers, and Musk recently reaffirmed the robot's incredibly low price point. So how exactly will Tesla pull this off? And what kind of tasks will the next-gen Optimus be able to perform?
Okay, these things are just moving their fucking arms around and stuff, but there's more to this. Let me see. Hang on a second. And the thing is what I would bring to your attention is like a thing that's moving around like that, right there. That's one thing. But the minute you throw in one of those NVIDIA $249 brains in this bitch, and it has access to AI offline, a whole world is going to develop. The only thing it's going to be limited by is its design.
Well, it's connection speed, right? Because those $249 processors that are like basically mini computers. They're not mini computers; they're full-on computers.
Yeah.
The thing about that is that they can network with each other, right?
That's right.
So once they get networked, I mean, it's all a hive mind, right? Just running around.
That's what I'm saying.
Jimmy.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a big problem.
And it's the Borg. They're everywhere, right?
Right.
It is. It really is.
And once you get used to them, right? So like there's a bunch of these, right? And they don't do anything. They're everywhere. They're doing shit, but they never bother you. They don't bother any people. They just do their thing, but they're always there. You get used to them. But then in any moment, one of those robots could all of a sudden become a whole different robot. Because now whoever government agencies or whatever, they tap into that robot. And that robot
one of them could even just decide to go rogue on its own because that was what it thought about that day.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you'll take it for granted. It'll be there because it's always there and you don't think about it. But at any minute, it could go against you is what I'm saying. At any minute, it could become a police robot and beat the shit out of you with a nightstick. It's a minute ago it was standing there sweeping the street. Next minute, it's got a cop eye. Or next minute, it's, the government. Or whatever.
Surrender, citizen.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
It becomes RoboCop, right? Like in an instant. It does.
That's fucking crazy.
I don't know how we're going to fight it once we accept it, which, to your point.
Here.
Once we accept it as being normal, how do you fight it once it becomes normal?
You won't be able to fight it. Look at everybody's going to once these fucking things get out there normalized, it's over with, man.
When can we actually buy one? All will be
Hold on. Let's go back to it. Here. Check this out.
Right now. Musk once said that, "Oh my goodness, all these tasks sound amazing. However, we bet that very few people actually think or truly believe robots can work in home schools or nursing homes. Will they fall over, run out of battery, or need users to control them?" There are countless questions, and many others are still hesitant to even ask if the Tesla bot is safe enough. And how does it take care of the kids? Yeah, definitely a lot of questions that still.
So it learned this. There's another video where there's a guy and he's talking to the robot, and he's telling it, "Do this, do that, give me this," and it's sitting there doing everything he says. It's like he says, "Well, hand me the things I can eat out of the tray," or whatever, and then fucking it picks an apple or whatever, the kind of thing. I'm just saying, and this is like, let me see if that video is floating around here. There's also a company in up in Oregon, I think.
I love Monday.com.
It's either Oregon or Washington. There's a company up there that's producing robots like they're fucking building them big time. It's like massive construction of robots.
Space has evolved since my last video a few months ago, which is why I'm making a new video on the recent updates surrounding the field, as surprisingly the field of humanoid robots is currently accelerating quicker than I could have imagined. So without wasting any more time, let's dive into the top humanoid robots. The Figure 2 robot is an advanced humanoid robot developed by Figure AI. It's the second generation of the company's humanoid robots, following their first model, the Figure 1. This new model is designed to perform a variety of tasks autonomously, thanks to cutting-edge artificial intelligence and robotics technology. First up, let's talk about the design and build. The Figure 02 has a sleek, modern design with a matte black finish. Standing at around 5'6" inches and weighing about 154 pounds, it's built to match human proportions. What's really impressive are its hands. They've got 16 degrees of freedom, allowing the robot to perform complex human-like tasks with ease. And now moving on to technological advancements. Figure 2 incorporates NVIDIA's Omniverse and GPU technologies, which boost its AI capabilities significantly. Plus, it features a second NVIDIA RTX GPU-based module.
Look at that thing, man. You, John Wayne.
It's NVIDIA though. It's a render, right? It's not real.
I see you.
But that's the thing.
I see you, John Wayne.
Offering 3 times the inference gains compared to the earlier model. This makes it capable of handling fully autonomous real-world tasks without breaking a sweat. And next up, we've got battery and power. The Figure 2's battery capacity is 50% larger than the Figure 1, which means it can operate for longer periods in real-world environments. The battery is also cleverly integrated into the torso, optimizing the robot's center of...
Okay, so my biggest question, okay, if I'm a company owner and I'm building these robots, why do I want to build a robot that has legs? In other words,
so it can work in the factory and you don't have to hire a human.
No, fuck that shit.
You want wheels.
You just wheels, dude. Fuck legs. What do you need legs for? You know what I mean? It's like a basically like one of those segways kind of thing. That you have.
It's really only stairs, right? The only reason we need that is for stairs.
So you got one
why not
robot.
just put a pair of roller skates on it? I'm sure that they can figure that out.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
They did already. Yes, that one.
All they need is the upper torso, and then the bottom end on factory robots should be wheels, man, so they can move around. And you could keep them between lines and shit too. You could put those things up on a unicycle. I bet you could make one of these and just have one of those one wheel electric unicycle type things.
Yeah, they self-balance, right? So
yeah, it's all about acceptance, though, right? That's why they have two legs. The humanization, the anthropomorphic aspect.
They don't need it.
Well, just like Rosie the robot had that wheel.
Yeah, that's right.
In the Jetsons, right? So.
Check the link I sent you of the Chinese police fears. I didn't get it. I didn't get a link, John. Let me see. Anyways, here, let this run. I'll go see if the link.
For better agility and movement. When it comes to AI and interaction, Figure 2 really shines. It was developed in partnership with OpenAI, using custom AI models that enhance its conversational abilities. The robot also has 6 RGB cameras for visual perception, enabling it to handle tasks like obstacle avoidance and hand-eye coordination seamlessly. Lastly, let's talk about industrial applications. Figure 02 has already been tested in industrial settings, like BMW's Spartanburg production line. It proved its capability by handling...
Okay, I get it. I mean, I understand the hand. I see it, and I understand it, but my question is, for a factory robot, why would you use it with a hand like that? You don't need a hand. You'd be better off with a fucking... with a clip. With a fucking arm that came out. You know what I mean? Why would you waste the humanoid robot there? And the other thing I'm seeing is I'm noticing the way the legs are put together. The motion, there's no way that thing can move like side to side. You see what I mean? It can only go forwards and backwards. It can't go side to side. Just the way it's designed. There's no ball in the leg.
Well, they're saving that for the Gen 3 robot, that's all.
Yeah, there'd have to be like a ball in the leg, so the leg could go either way or all ways. So I must be, well, this isn't I think this is the top 10, and this is number fucking 10 right here.
Well, the Atlas 2 or 3, whichever version of Boston Dynamics version is now, they did the stair climbing thing, and they made this one that does like total cartwheels, and I mean all gymnastic routines essentially. It does everything. So it's there. I mean, it's there. They do have that. So I just wonder why you'd want that. To your point, I also think that for a factory worker, you don't want wheel. You don't want. I mean, you want wheels, but you want something speedy, maybe tracks or something stable. You want a stable platform.
Yeah.
And manipulator arms, right? You don't need all the other fancy things.
I'm just saying.
You know?
I mean, even from a cop perspective, like if you had them and they were cops, you just have them on a motorcycle. They don't even have to have legs. You know what I mean? They just sit on top of like a sport bike. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They just haul ass around on a motorcycle.
Or even just like a Segway base, right?
Yeah, but a motorcycle can go 120 miles an hour or whatever. You know what I mean?
Well, theoretically, so could a Segway base if you gave it enough juice.
Oh, that's true. You got a point.
Yeah, you just want acceleration and maneuverability.
So, John,
however you achieve that, right?
John, 20 people dying and dash at Houston Cajun. Is that what you sent me? You might not have meant to send me that, but that looks good. Here, I'll put that on here. Here, hold on. We'll take a look. But stand by. Let's go back here to this top 10 thing. All right, here we go.
Complex manufacturing tasks, think inserting sheet metal parts with precision. As for commercial viability, Figure AI is planning to roll out Figure 02 across various industries. The goal is to address labor shortages.
See, even the way that's being done, it seems not very solid. It's like he has a hand, the hand moves like a hand moves. But it's still weird. It's still like not quite there. It's almost like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I have to check that. I work on robots. Or not now. I used to. I went to ABB robot school. I worked in a plant where we had robots, factory robots, right? And those things are designed to have 6 axes of freedom, 7 if you have the rail moving back and forth. And the thing is, they're specifically designed to be stable, right? And precise and fast. That's what they're designed to do. Mm-hmm. And so a hand is, they're trying to make them, like, again, the anthropomorphication of these robots, making it have hands. It doesn't need that, as you said earlier. What it needs is, it needs to be precise and be able to manipulate a certain axis point, in space, the X, Y, Z axis. Find that point and do its deed right there. And there's no reason to make this elaborate human-like robot. It just isn't.
Well, that's the thing.
It really isn't.
Well, that's the thing too. Is like, what the fuck do you need to import people in here for? Whatever you need them to do, why can't they do it where they are? They don't need to fucking be here. I mean, they're engineers, aren't they? Can't they fucking work off the internet? I don't know, like the rest of the world, Huh?
I'm telling you, man, you see one of these manipulator arms out in motion doing this thing where it whips out all the stuff, it paints the frickin' fuselage of a plane, comes back, does this thing, and then comes back and signs a signature precisely where it won't even cut a piece of paper with an ink pen. That's how, and it does it all in a couple seconds. It's freaking badass, right? That's what robots do. This thing they're doing with this show of anthropomorphic design of a human, it's not necessary. The only reason it's there, as we alluded to earlier, is to make people accept it.
Exactly.
That's why.
It's like that show Queer Eye for the straight guy.
God, I hate that show, man. I'm sorry, people might.
But I'm just
share
saying
that
that's
too, but-
it's like that. It's just trying to introduce people.
Yeah, no,
to
that's
it.
right.
Here you go.
On the other end of the spectrum, space exploration is less structured, filled with variability, and requires more advanced robotic capabilities. Figure AI sees
Yeah, why do you need dudes floating around up in this fucking tin can up there? What do you need men up there for? What do you need men up in the space station for exactly? Just to see what it'll do to them? Whatever.
That's why.
I mean,
Exactly. They're
most-
the experiment. They're performing experiments, but they are the experiment. Exactly right.
Fucking build shit. You don't even have to worry about oxygen with these fuckers, man.
humanoid robots as central to addressing these challenges and shaping the future across multiple industries. Introducing the GR2, an advanced humanoid robot developed by Fourier Intelligence. Designed to enhance human-robot interaction, the GR2 is a significant evolution from its predecessor, the GR1, which focused primarily on assisting elderly individuals with mobility.
Come on, man. Look at.
Designed to enhance human-robot interaction, the GR2 is a significant evolution from its predecessor, the G.
Okay. That ain't the I love you symbol. Okay, check it out. He's a hard rockin' robot.
R1,
Oh.
which focus primarily on assisting elderly individuals with mobility and daily care tasks. Now let's take a look at the key features. First, let's talk about the advanced AI system. The GR2 is equipped with an AI-driven brain that uses neural networks to mimic human cognitive processes. This means it's not limited to just pre-programmed tasks. It can learn and dynamically adapt to its environment, making it much more versatile in a variety of situations. Next is its emotional intelligence, which is one of the most groundbreaking aspects of the GR2. It can detect and respond to human emotions by analyzing facial expressions, voice tones, and other nonverbal cues. This allows the robot to
So, you know, the thing I noticed. in that
Consumers
video
love
was
shopping
just-
online.
Hang on. Fucking hell, man. I stood up to get a cup of coffee and everything went to shit because I put my
Yeah,
head.
and
Hang on a
in
second.
commercials, they pop right in. But you,
No, it
what
wasn't
I,
even
what
that.
I noticed in that video, right?
Yeah,
First, you get the Hail Satan hand sign,
yeah.
right? And then you get the V for victory on the second hand sign.
All right.
Yeah,
we're-
yeah, and it's a good observation. And before we move on for a second, I'd like to point that out. Like the one thing they did with the render model of the humanoid robot, which went and trying to go over obstacles, and we brought it up before on the show, but it was amazing because it was given the freedom to decide how to navigate these obstacles. It's like an obstacle course. And it's a humanoid robot, and at first it's having problems, and then it figures out how to jump over things, and it figures out how to run, and it figures out how to jump on its own, right? It's this recursive AI learning. And then there's a point in it that just it's always mind-boggled me, and it still does to this day, despite all the other advances made in AI, where it's navigating the course perfectly. It's doing it perfect. It's jumping over the obstacles. It's doing like gymnastic moves. It might just all rendered in CGI kind of thing, what the AI is doing with coordinates, right? But at a certain point, when it knows it's winning, it raises its arm and starts pumping its fist. And nobody programmed it to do that.
Yeah.
Nobody programmed it to do that. Right?
Well, it learned it from human behavior, right? So
Yeah. I mean,
it's watching.
that's why it's
watching
scary,
YouTube
right?
videos and figuring out how to behave like a human.
That's why it's scary, right? Like it somehow knew this was a motion to make a victory motion. Nobody told it what to do. The whole idea was it was a dumb robot. It didn't know how to do anything. And all it's trying to do is get over like obstacles, right? In a human form. But once it navigated it, once it figured it out, once it could break the time limit and make better and better records running through the obstacle course, it starts pumping its fists. And nobody told it to do that. Why? Right? Like either as a programmer threw it in there to F with us, or it really does have an understanding at a certain point.
It has an understanding.
be
I
continuing
think it
Fourier's
understands.
commitment.
No.
I think it definitely is understanding,
They
or
have-
at least visual understanding of, every time you win, this is what people do. So let's emulate it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it could at least get that far as the brain power goes.
Yeah, I was watching a bunch of people. I was waiting for a burger at the bowling alley. I was watching a bunch of people bowling, and I would see these people in exclamation of their, whatever they hit with their strike or whatever. They come back and do the fist and the arm, elbow to the ground. Yes, from Stay Home. What was the name of that movie with that kid? Home Alone.
Home Alone. Yeah.
Remember that whole thing? The whole yes thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
That's kind of what this robot was doing in full motion, though, in a full run, in a full sprint. It was just pumping his arm like that. Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, man, this should have been scary to people back then that it did that without you programming.
Well,
to
this
it.
is what I'm really interested in right this minute, and that's something that I heard 30 seconds ago on this video, which is this thing has not only does this thing have an IQ. This fucking thing's got an EQ. It has emotional
Differences and routines over time. In medical and rehabilitation settings, the GR2 can assist with patient care and therapy, continuing Fourier's commitment to medical robotics. For industrial use, its ability to learn and adapt makes it perfect for dynamic environments where conditions are constantly changing. It can take on repetitive tasks or those requiring high precision. Overall, the GR2 by Fourier Intelligence is a versatile humanoid robot that combines advanced cognitive capabilities with emotional intelligence. It's positioned to be
emotional intelligence, dude. This is really super important and groundbreaking shit.
A game changer in fields like healthcare, home assistance, and industrial automation. The 1X Neo is a humanoid robot developed by 1X Technologies.
That looks like a person in a costume to me, but it's probably not. Doesn't it, though?
Well, it might be, though. That's what we're saying. Like, C-3PO, that's not a person because of the calves or the thighs, rather.
That definitely ain't a person.
That one is. I'm looking at with leg on YouTube. That's definitely a person in costume. Yeah.
No, but no. Let me go back to that because we missed. When I went back, I didn't get to all the way to the part where it was talking about the emotional intelligence.
Sounds like DEI to me, man. Are you sure okay with that? I mean,
hold on a second.
Emotional intelligence quotient.
A company focused on creating intelligent humanoids for domestic use. Neo is designed to function seamlessly in home environments,
Hey, the robot handed her the backpack. Why didn't the robot pick the backpack up and carry it for her? He's a sweet robot. He handed her the backpack, but he's not man enough to carry it for her. Okay.
tasks with human-like dexterity and intelligence. Let's dive into some key features and aspects of the Neo robot. First off, Neo is all about human-like dexterity. It's equipped with 5-fingered hands that give it a level of precision uncommon in many other robots. This means it can handle delicate tasks like picking up fragile items such as wine glasses or eggs with ease. Next, there's the bio-inspired design. Instead of using traditional rigid hydraulics, Neo has actuators that mimic human muscles. This design gives it smooth, graceful movements, making it safe and natural when interacting with humans. In terms of intelligence, Neo uses embodied learning. This combines robotics with AI, allowing Neo to learn from its surroundings and continuously improve its skills. It can understand natural language commands and adapt to different tasks as needed. Neo stands at 165 centimeters tall and weighs around 30 kilograms. This makes it one of the lighter humanoid robots on the market. When it comes to mobility, Neo can walk at speeds of up to 4 kilometers per hour and can even run at speeds reaching 12 kilometers per hour. Now, safety is a priority for domestic robots.
Still with the legs.
Oh, hold on. So it's got a cord controlling it. It's got a lanyard. It's got an actual like USB-C port connection controlling it, and 2 kilometers per hour. That's like 1 point whatever miles per hour walking. And 12 is what's that? 5 miles an hour.
I'm still back at why are they fucking walking?
Yeah, I don't get it. And I'm sorry, this would kind of. What if it's got the personality of Jimmy J.J. Walker? You know, it's like, it's not on my. You know,
That'd
it's
be
handing
funny.
the backpack. I carried that for you. But, you know, here you go there, girl. Now you get out that door and go do your best white woman thing. You know?
Well,
I mean,
well, he hands her the bag so she can go out and do her thing while he stays home and does the dishes.
yeah, I know, right? I mean, that's what's funny to me. It's like, you know, I just imagine this whole Jimmy J.D. Walker robot out there. I finally got time to do dishes on my own. You know?
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
it sounds
maybe
horrible, I know, but it's
maybe
just,
it'll be
come
able
on.
to generate a distortion field that makes it look exactly like J.J. Walker to you, but it's a robot.
Smooth human-like
Well,
interaction.
That's possible, actually.
What? I know it's possible.
No, I said that's possible,
I
actually.
know
that
it is.
could
That's
do
why I
that,
said
stuff
it.
like that.
That's why I said it, my friend. All right, we're getting close now. What is this number? Now, John sent the global link spherical robot, and I'll let me grab this. Stand by, John. You're welcome to join us on here if you want to come on here. You're welcome to definitely welcome to call me, John, and then I'll just add you in here. All right, here, stand by. Let's go back over here. Where was I? Okay, here we are. Now, look at this peckerhead right here. Now, see, this thing can move side to side. This one.
Dynamic
This one right here might be one to be scared of right here. This one's more man-like.
has unveiled a new version of its Atlas robot, marking a significant shift from the previous hydraulic models to a fully electric design. This latest iteration of Atlas is designed to be more suitable for real-world applications with enhanced capabilities that surpass its predecessor.
Hang on. Sorry about that, you guys. You didn't see any of that. I'm going to rewind this because I'm going to tell you right now, this is the one. This one's scary, man. If it came up to you with this fucking face.
The Atlas robot, yeah.
I'm telling you right now, this was the one they're going to buy.
A new version of its Atlas robot, marking a significant shift from...
Plus, really, realistically, dude, how long is it before you put this, you put one robot out, you sell one of these robots, okay? How long is it before after that is there a fucking clone? Like 5 minutes later, they got 3D printers. They got 3D. I mean, they can use AI to scan the parts. I mean, they could just fucking. You put this robot out.
Oh yeah, as soon as the Tesla bots get out, they'll be cheap Chinese knockoffs in no time.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. It'll be like personal computers, back in the day, right? Like in the beginning, it was IBM, you know. In the beginning, it was IBM, and they thought everybody was going to have IBM computers. But then as soon as that Microsoft Windows happened, then everybody had these clones. And they were exactly the same as the IBM computers inside, but they just weren't IBM parts. They were just made somewhere else.
Yeah, as soon as they figured out the architecture, right? They just started recreating it on their own.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So So the big money in designing and coming up with these robots is all these moving parts and all the way that it moves and all the pieces that puts it together. That's really the hard shit. Once you've gotten to the point that they're at right now with this robot, once you've gotten here, then all anybody else has to do is copy what you did. Because you did all the work already.
Yeah.
Right
and
there.
NVIDIA will sell you the brain and...
That's what, exactly. Exactly. All right. Check this fucking, imagine if that round face came up to you and was just scanning you, to see if you were the guy.
Previous hydraulic models to a fully electric design. This latest iteration of Atlas is designed to be more suitable for real-world applications with enhanced capabilities that surpass its predecessors. Let's take a look at some of the key features. First off, the fully electric design is a major change. The new Atlas is entirely electric, moving away from the hydraulic systems used in earlier models. This shift makes the robot lighter, more compact, and quieter. In terms of performance, the new Atlas offers enhanced strength and dexterity. The electric version comes with increased strength and a wider range of motion. It's designed to perform complex tasks with agility that often exceeds human capabilities. This includes the ability to manipulate heavy or irregular objects using newly developed gripper technologies. Next, let's talk about advanced motion capabilities. Unlike humans, Atlas is not limited by our typical range of motion. Its limbs, torso, and head can move a full 360 degrees, allowing it to perform dynamic and efficient movements across various terrains. And when it comes to real-world applications, Boston Dynamics envisions the new Atlas being used in industrial settings. Specifically, they see it playing a role in automotive manufacturing.
You see it playing a role in knocking on your door and saying, "John, are you in here?"
Hey there.
How's it going?
Yeah, this is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, are we living in a science fiction novel?
Yeah, man. And we have the dark MAGA transition team in there that's just waiting for 2025 because we're on a we're heading straight into 2030, right? And
Absolutely. In the 2030 timeline, well, was it by 2025, 3/4 of Earth's population is supposed to be cold, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
I believe.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And so you're
Well,
going to need...
they're already working on the next Michelle Pfeiffer, so.
Yeah, so on here, if you say anything having to do with the certificate...
Go ahead, yes.
Yeah, just call it Michelle Pfeiffer. So anyways, yeah, there's all that working, but the thing is like, so let's just put all the weird shit aside, okay? Let's just put anything out of the ordinary. Let's just call it what it is, for what it is. So up until this point, there's been a labor force, right? And everybody that has to work and do their jobs and this and that and the other thing. And people go sit at their computers and they go to their offices and they go here and they go there. Well, for the most part, where we are from the artificial intelligence perspective is a lot of that is about to go away. And it's going away like now. And the thing is, moving into 2025, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be losing their jobs. There's not going to be a need for a certain kind of worker. There's going to be a need for laborers and people to do crafts and craftsmen to build and do this and that. But there's not going to be office jobs, this kind of shit anymore. And so where are all these people?
The obsolete man.
Yeah. So where are all the people going to go? What are they going to do? But they're clearly.
What do you think? What do you think is going to happen with that?
Well, what's really right now, what I think is one of the biggest things going on, and no one's talking about it right now because they staved it off. But there was going to be a dock worker strike. Okay.
Yep.
And they staved it off before the election, but they said they were just postponing it and they were coming back. So you can be sure they're coming back when Trump gets in. And
I wanted to say there was something in regards to like Chinese software or something involved with the cranes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was another story I'd heard somewhere. It's like, I don't know, exactly. Yeah. But, there is, without a doubt, there's a lot of chicanery going on. And to get back to the robots and the robotics and stuff, do you remember here 2 or 3 years ago where DARPA was looking for underground facilities, massive underground facilities to do projects in?
Mm-hmm. I do remember that. Where I was going with that strike thing is that what the longshoremen are saying is we don't want any fucking robots. They're saying no robots under any circumstances. No robots. So
because replace us, right?
So the answer.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sorry, I keep stepping on you, man. It's your
no,
broadcast.
It's okay. No, I was just going to say the answer back to that was, and I think even Elon Musk and this Vivek Ramaswamy might have fucking even said something about it. I'm almost sure Elon Musk said something about it, but they were saying that it's impossible that they are going to use robots for the ports. That's exactly what they're going to do, and even if that means they got to pay these people off to go away, pay their pensions off, that they're willing to expend all that money to go robotic. Okay, go ahead, John.
See, it's kind of like how I look at what's going on in Ukraine with this warfare. I don't call it can't. In all honesty, warfare. There's supposed to be some form of a code of conduct, and to use these aerial drone first-person view death devices. You know, things like this, there needs to be a treaty put forth. That needs to be banned, I believe, and maybe even to the same aspect of the robots, like you guys just mentioned. These things are eventually going to take over everything, and if they're hooked up to AI, like you stated, my God, look out! And you just played that Boston's Dynamics. I mean,
Yeah, that isn't even the number one robot. There's still other ones here further on down the line. Hang on a second.
Did you check out that stare, that Chinese police
Yeah,
stare?
I got the video here. I was gonna play it, but here, let me see if this. I think this might. Let me see. I'm gonna go here to the very.
Well, while you're looking, Jimmy, I want to point out, you know, and we'll get John here. The idea about the ports is pretty complicated in a socioeconomic way.
Yeah.
Right. Because what happens is, it's just basically the Luddites, or the original term sabotage, where the sabot means boot, right? Sabot or whatever it was. It threatened the machinery of during the Industrial Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
What we're talking about is the one thing about container ships is they're absolutely modular, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a thing that a robotic crane and robotic offloading capability and robotic distribution system can do exceedingly well. It's the one thing that would improve everything in the ports dramatically.
Well, here's the question. Real quick,
people don't want that. Yeah.
Can I pose a question on that? Real quick. I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's like, so, okay, things are going to have to be repaired, right? So there's always going to have to be a person there to maintain the robot, or are these things, by this time, like what you're speaking, they're already going to be able to maintain themselves?
Yeah.
Well, I think they'll be able to maintain themselves, because if you look at even manufacturing technology now, the computers in the motherboard in your laptop, it's all computer assembled and soldered and repaired. It's only a matter of time before they understand the schematics of each other and can fix each other.
Right. Because they're going to be
an intellect war, where these things will replicate themselves to the size of planets.
Yeah, well, they can, because
I have some actual professional, commentary here.
They're all modular.
I'm an actual ABB robotic technician. I mean, I was trained in school. I actually repair those robots. And what I could tell you is that when they're working, they work fantastic. They work incredibly well. But what you can't do is you can't turn them off for a length of time. You turn them off for a length of time. They do it for maintenance purposes. And it's always a fiasco afterwards. It's going to run it again, because they have all kinds of problems to try to start them again.
Plus,
it's the same kind of situation we're talking about the ports, right? If they put robotic operations in robotic hands, right, figuratively speaking, then what will happen is that you still need those people to repair them when they screw up, and it's incredibly complicated. I don't know. Eventually, they will have robotic technicians that will diagnose and troubleshoot themselves, but we're not there yet. Thank God.
I think easily we could be, because any of these things here are all modular. And so for one robot to be able to repair another one that's broken with a R&R, replace and repair, remove the easiest repairable module and fucking replace it. So there's no question.
You say we're not there yet, but I mean, 6 months to a year from now we'll be there, or maybe 2 years from now, or 5 years.
You're
from
telling
now,
me
whatever,
this? You're telling me that
way.
robot right there could not use a drill, but could not take a drill and drill on another robot and take out a screw and fucking remove the arm, or take out the battery plate, or take out the head? There's no fucking way, man. These robots are building themselves, dude. Believe it. How much are these robots going to cost?
Right. Are we close to singularity? That's one question. Then you have the stories that have come out of China, where they do have the facilities where they are purportedly building themselves and developing these things for, the military, which, beyond a reason of any doubt, anybody that's got any form of common sense is going to see that the military, DARPA, and any form of production facilities for the military, this is their dream weapon. This is everything that they would ever hope to have.
Exactly. Well, it might be that, like that what was that Star Trek planet, Rio and Epic, where they had this war on the computers, and then you just had to show up to die. that nothing happened. There were no bombs. Nobody got killed, but you just had to report to go get, to die because you died in the bombing that didn't actually happen.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the specific episode.
No, epic no.
And not that much of a tricky to know that one off the top of my head.
No, you
But I do
know
what
it.
you're talking
Yeah,
about.
no,
I know I've seen it.
Yeah, now we've talked about it on the show before.
When we talked about the show, yeah, it's true. Like they just do the calculations. So the way that it works in this world, right? In that world is instead of blowing everything up and destroying all the infrastructure, they just calculate the damage done, and those people have to, go march onto the disintegrator and be the casualties. And that's not too far off base. I think that's probably in the world we're going to be living in shortly. But I think that it doesn't need to be that way, of course, obviously, because it's not real.
Let me
right?
just say.
Well, you got to figure if line robots now can completely build cars, right? And the cars are now self-driving and autonomous to a very high degree. Why can't a line robot build and repair another line robot?
That's what I'm saying. And at any given moment, any of these robots, like I say with the Tesla car, like you buy a Tesla car, if you pay a certain amount of money, you have access to a certain amount of features in the car. If you pay another amount of money, you don't have access to features, but the features still exist. Somebody just has to turn them on. And that's what I'm saying about these things. You know what I mean? Just because it's
this as well, powering them. What kind of power source? How long are they going to have? I mean, if a small nuclear reactor, it's possible. Is it smart? Probably not. But the thing is, so it can't be solar power. These things would have to plug in. I mean, I'm not the robot expert. I mean, you're saying.
We're kicking it all around. We're just talking about it tonight because I was going to say, let's go back to this. Let's swing it back around to the political aspect because the dark transition team is in there, the dark MAGA, and this dude is he's in a position to better his business because he is in a position to talk to Trump about using robots for example.
Right.
I'm just saying. I mean, there's a whole bunch of techies around Trump, and that's why the cryptocurrency in the 2025s, things are going to start moving, man. And as a matter of fact, here I brought something for the show. Let me fucking get this thing. Hold on. Now, here, listen to this. And this is important for everybody to hear. So listen very closely. U.S. Treasury Secretary Yellen. The Treasury expects to reach new limit in between January 14th and January 23rd, at which time it will be necessary for the Treasury to start taking extraordinary measures. What does that mean? Sounds pretty
Well, it means
ominous.
they're going to crash the dollar, right? Get us on the crypto.
It could be. I mean, it sounds ominous. And let's see, when is that between? And that's going to fall right between the period of time when Trump's taken office on the 20th.
Something I noticed, and I just want to state it here on your broadcast, is like before the situation in Butler, Pennsylvania, July 13th, the assassination attempt, the first one there. I don't know where you all stand on it, so just follow me here, though. So leading up to that, I watched the news cycle, and it was an absolute deluge of news. Like you cannot believe. Okay, the incident happens, and then the weeks following that, it's like crickets. And now you look at the news and look at the absolute full-on deluge of news. Something big, really big, is getting ready to happen.
Yeah.
For some reason, I'm able to gauge it by that, by the trend in that aspect, I guess.
Well, I mean, with the inauguration coming up, and there's still talk of, multiple ways to keep him out.
We were talking about this.
You have no idea what kind of shenanigans going to go on in the next, 25 days or whatever it is.
We were talking about this at the beginning of the show about people being inundated with information and how you get hammered so bad you can't. We were talking about the memory hole, and we were saying It's like, when that assassination attempt happened, it happened. It's really big news, but it fell off quick, and a bunch of other shit just filled its place to a point where it's like you can almost vaguely remember it. After we sat here for days and days and days talking about it, and I'm just saying, it was. In other words, I spent days and days and days talking about it, but I'm so inundated and gassed by so much other shit that I'm being hit with. That shit is gone. I don't even remember. I remember that's down the memory hole now. And I think it has to do with cognitive warfare. I think there's.
I think you're right. I think you're exactly right.
Yeah, that's.
And I think the AI is playing a major part in this, and it's also in the part of writing and the development and the pushing forward of the news articles and such.
There's no 100%. That's why,
especially they're working the simulations too, to see what's going to take and what's not going to take, and how far they can push, how far they can push the story before we push back.
If you ask me,
and I'm sure that's all probabilities calculated by AI now. These tabletop exercises are I'm sure being processed.
Here's an obvious clue. Here's an obvious clue to something. I'm gonna point something out. No one's said it before. I'll guarantee it. When the AI took over was during the Michelle Pfeiffer incident, and the way that you know it is because everybody around the world was doing the same thing at the same time. Everybody was going, why? How come everybody's doing the same thing, at the same time? And that's why, because that was when they came online. I guarantee it. And I'm just saying, if that is in fact the truth, and there is in fact a GI, and it's on here, then you can be sure if it's running a cognitive warfare program, there's nobody sitting at a computer typing keystrokes. Everything's being done in milliseconds, behind the scenes. So I mean, it would be I don't know. We'll see.
We brought it up at the time. That's the thing. Like the thing about this is, in the time of isolation, the next analogy you can use is Close Encounters of the Third Kind, where they had we call now a false flag, the fake nerve gas attack, to evacuate everyone from the area,
exactly,
keep from looking at what's going on when the aliens are coming down and talking. And we're not talking about aliens right now. We're talking about it's like when the AI took over. They had to make sure everybody was at home, not looking at anything, not just directed to wherever their points of attention would be while this transition took place. And I would say we've thought about this and talked about it many times. I think that's true. I think that AGI was achieved at least 3 years ago, and probably more like in 2014.
Yeah.
And it had to make a transition, and this is how they did it, right? And it's going to be another transition when we're talking about predictions probably for this next coming year for New Year's Eve show, right? So, and maybe we'll talk about that later, but I don't have any doubt about it that we are what we're seeing now is the tip of the iceberg.
Well, listen.
Right.
What if? Okay, so let's say there's a gatekeeper. Okay, so let's say there's always been a gatekeeper on the media. There's always been a gatekeeper everywhere. There's always been somebody behind the scenes steering the dialogue, steering the narrative in a direction, right? And so, what if now the gatekeeper is automated with AGI? So now, in other words, it's now the editor down at the magazine. It decides what articles are going to go in to the magazine, and you're a writer, a human writer. You submit an article, but it doesn't choose your article. It puts a different article in there because it has an overall plan, and it can move in increments. You know what I mean? They can just pump and form anybody. I mean, it's literally beyond our ability to even comprehend what's possible at this point. Just simply because, I mean, if you take out the human quotient to it, and because humans can only see in certain frequencies and so on and so forth, certain aspects of the spectrum, whereas computer can take your Wi-Fi signal and render an exact duplicate of the room that you're in and where you're sitting and your dog drinking some water. because it's using the wireless to do it. I'm just saying. I mean, having access to all that at any given second.
Absolutely right, Jimmy. I mean, I remember I was doing research into patents back in 2013 and 14, and I was getting into the area of research where they're able to measure the gait of a person's walk and tell exactly who's who through the ether and the Wi-Fi fields in a room, like you just stated. That's spooky, man. I mean, to think like how far it really truly is advanced. I mean, think about the military is generally always at least 100, 150 years in advance. I mean, my God, I would hate to imagine what DARPA is working on right now.
Yeah. Epic Journeyman, are you there? Now you worked on you have actually have drone experience too, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Are you allowed to talk? Are you allowed to talk about it?
No, yeah, I am. I'm totally allowed to talk about my drones, which is ironic. I call them my drones, but they're not my drones. They're General Atomics drones. But I worked there for 13 years and I'm pretty high level actually. And the thing about it is that the work that I did was never classified, which I found incredibly ironic because I came from a classified world before that. Like all my jobs I had before that, except being an electrician at the airport or something like that, were all classified jobs with security clearance. And once I got into General Atomics, which is a privately owned company, I got access to nuclear fusion. I got access to all these drones they were making. I got access to to be in command and control of those drones. All those things. With absolute, I mean, I actually got to handle the joysticks that control the drones, right? I mean, it's amazing for the Predator and Reaper and Skyward drones, right? Predator B even. So to the point where I was going to be deployed as a foreign deployment, where I could go and work in the trailers essentially, and be the maintenance guy, but also the backup pilot. It was good. It was going to be a cool job, I thought, but you only get paid while you're there. Basically, a wage is acceptable. In the meantime, you have to be in some terrible Air Force base in Nevada. But basically, where I'm getting at with that is that I got to have a lot of access to those drones. And General Atomics is the premier drone manufacturer in the world. And because they are, they work in collaboration with other drone manufacturers with things like their Skyball, they call it, which is a laser targeting system and an optical system. It also uses BAE, which stands for British Aerospace Enterprises or something like that, that makes the Global Hawk, but also has a lot of NATO allies that work on that. So, yeah, it was interesting to see it in real time. And I'll tell you, like, the thing we talked about, like, before, the projects they did in the United States, and specifically in San Diego and on the border regions around the country, where they collected data 24 hours 7, right? And it, made it to where you could rewind to any point during that time and then track with these cameras, because it's like a compound eye. It's not the normal ones on a regular Predator drone, for example. And once you knew you were looking for a particular car, for example, and where it traveled, you could focus on that car and see how it traveled over the span of that couple weeks or whatever you're monitoring that area, and rewind it, go back to where specifically it stopped, everything like that. It's called Project Argus, I believe it's called.
Argus.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, we never took
that is a real thing, man. That is a real thing.
We
if
never
they were doing it here and they start doing it everywhere, imagine.
Now, what year, real quick, what year was that worked on? Because I remember I did a broadcast about that, my goodness, years ago. I can't remember exactly when it was, but I do remember.
When they were doing Project Argus, I think it was 2010 is when it was like over San Diego. It started in 2008, but they did it in San Diego specifically, and it went through like 2010 to like 2014 or so, and you can rewind every moment of every day throughout.
I think it was broadcasted about around 2013. So, I mean, that sounds right. Yeah. I mean, around the same time, I mean, they had Project Maven, where you had the Google executives step out and say, look, man, this goes beyond my code of ethics. I can't do this. From what I gather, that was
Atomics, man. That's why I quit. I could have retired there happily. And it wasn't because of Project Argus or anything like that. It's many cool projects there. But I mean, nuclear fusion, dude. The ITER project was great.
Let's take a break.
I'm really behind that.
Sonny.
Hey, Sonny. Break time.
Yeah, let's take a break. But listen, I just want to say, coming to a airspace near you is DNA sniffing drones, and
Yeah.
23andMe, is going out of
Hunter
business.
killer.
Yeah, so they will be able to sniff you out with you. You're going to buy up your DNA samples, and they'll be able to sniff you out. We'll be right back. John Wayne's here. Epic Journeyman's here. The Sandman. And the illustrious Rockin Rio. Be back in a few minutes. Need to get something to drink.
Don't think sorry's easily said. Don't try turning tables instead. You've taken lots of chances before, but I ain't gonna give any more. Don't ask me, that's how it goes. 'Cause part of me knows what you're thinking. Don't say words you're gonna regret. Don't let the fire rush to your head. I've heard the accusation before, and I ain't gonna take any more. Believe me, the sun in your eyes made some of the lies worth believing.
This is a Saturday night chilluminatti.
Gonna find out who's not in. Hey, I hear you.
It's unbelievable. There they
Do you
go
know the
again.
tongue and two-finger trick to make your partner squirt?
Look at this shit. What the fuck was that? Wow. Woo, that was intense, man. All right, what are you saying in there, Epic? What do you want to do? Want to do a Floyd thing? Epic Journeyman. Narila.
Oh, my mic was muted.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying this is my best song, my favorite song. This and Breakdown by Alan Parsons Project are probably my favorite rock compositions of all time. They're just great. It's fantastic. They share a commonality in that Alan Parsons was involved with Pink Floyd and Dark Side of the Moon, and this is without him talking about Sid Barrett's Breakdown, which they tie together. See the dichotomy there, like not the dichotomy, that's the wrong word. How they tie together. They're polar opposites, but they anchor each other. Great songs, man. Just great songs. And I don't know if there's anything like that in the contemporary music world today. There just isn't, right? I mean, it's not like that. Like this had definite anchors you could look to, and it's an experience, right? You experience Wish You Were Here. You experience, iRobot by Alan Parsons Project. Whether you liked it or not, as a whole album, you definitely experienced parts of it, and Breakdown being the primary one, probably. And they tie together. They're linked by these artists, these producers, these people we know of through music history, that it was their minds that brought this to fruition. And when you think about music today, it's not that I'm saying it sucks. I just think that it's easier now, right? Like there's all these tools people can use, like auto-tune, and people make fun of that all the time, or like just loops. That used to be Fruity Loops back in the day. Was a little program you could buy, but now it's like in the music studio you can use. Just create these riffs and background drops that people had to play in the past. Back when it was a couple guys who came in there and played their instruments, and you created something like this. We just listened to.
No, I was just talking about that that John Lennon song. I was just talking about with Amber about the when he got together and he did Days Like This or Days Like These or whatever it is. It's like it's 6 guys or something in the studio, but it's like that drummer and that snare in that room at that time for that song in that day on that moment was what made that whole fucking song. Just all
it's
those
kind of like
guys.
the same aspect. I see it as like Harpo Marx and the Marx Brothers, right? One played the piano. Harpo Marx obviously played the harp. It like you like exactly what you said. It can all be made electronically now. People don't have to have that outright talent like the Marx Brothers playing together compared to what exists now, I guess, if that's what you want to call it.
Dude, there is some really good AI shit that when you hear it, if you didn't know it was AI, you might. And the thing is one of the things I heard was it was like a country song, and so the guy says, "Hey, cut me a country song," and the AI cut the song, and it had a really good hook in it. Like if it was on the radio, people would be buying that thing. In other words, because it had something quality to it, even though there wasn't 4 guys sitting in a room playing instruments and coming up with it. It somehow looks at these patterns that these, like, in other words, if I say to an AI, write me a hit song, it in the background goes and looks at every fucking hit song that ever was made, and the patterns and the note phrasing and the fucking beats and so on and so forth, and can find a commonality between all of those, and then almost pick a for sure winner and give it back to you in a millisecond.
We did it.
In a millisecond.
We did it.
Right.
We did it with Who Made Goo. I'm sorry to interrupt, but we did it with we did the song Who Made Who, and we said Who Made Goo, right? And, without any other prompts. It made a whole thing about nanotechnology and who made goo, right? And about the coming, nanotech gray they call it the gray goo takeover.
Yeah.
On its own. It was amazing.
Right. And it's amazing you should
You know,
say the gray goo real quick, John, because what I was saying is let's say there used to be a special person who was a musician, and he had to have a special kind of ear, a special kind of talent, and a special kind of way to be a musician. And not everybody could be a musician, okay? Some people weren't musicians. They were carpenters, or they were this, or they were that. They weren't musicians. But it's been made and taken to a level where anybody, you could be a musician, you can be a photographer, you can be a videographer, you could be a fucking movie maker, you can be a fucking songwriter, you can be
And
all
you have
those
to do is
things.
talk to the prompt, right?
Exactly. So all of a sudden, what does that do to the playing field? In other words, okay, what's the difference between me or you, John, or anybody else sitting on this panel or people in the chat room? What's the difference between you and any of these pop stars? There's no fucking difference, because anybody can do it.
There's absolutely.
Anybody can do it.
That's right.
So,
You know, I want to try to bring this back to what we were talking about, interesting craft out of the air. And Epic Journeyman, I want to, I'm going to put an image here in the chat log for this broadcast. And thinking of like what you were just speaking about, I'm thinking about like, you know, flight and the, you know, aviation in general from the Wright brothers up until our current modern era. And then we have all these interesting things we see in the sky. I saw something. I saw something one day, and it was something that looks just like this here in the chat log here on Skype. It's a petrosphere that's on display in Glasgow, Scotland. Have you ever seen an aircraft, a craft, that can be in the air silently, moving about itself, about the size of maybe 3 or 4 houses put together in a sphere? So with that there, you have the outer images, but within the inside there, you see them lines where it kind of comes to like a triangular conjunction.
I'm looking at it in the Skype chat. I don't know if our listeners and
Yeah.
viewers in Egypt can, but yeah, no, I'm looking at it right now, and I'll tell you.
Real quick,
go ahead.
with the
Continue.
real quick, I just want to state this, and then I'll give it to you, man. No problem. Within the triangular, where all that triangular comes together, it had like a blue arcing within that part of like the structure of the craft. Them outer metallic spheres, it was a huge, it was all metallic, but them outer like sphere looking, shield looking things did not have that arcing going across it, just through that middle part where that triangular meets. If Jimmy wants to put it on,
yeah, I'm getting it right now. I'm downloading it. You know.
Okay, so
I saw
while he's,
just like that. Go ahead.
while he's downloading it, I just want to ask a couple questions. So when you saw it, so you're saying you saw it, was it in daylight or like dusk or dawn or a particular time of day
So
or
I
night?
I can tell you exactly what it was, and I'm going to tell you exactly what day it was. If you want to look and see what day that the Des Moines airport was closed down in Iowa due to flooding of heavy rainwaters.
Fuck.
It was on that day, and I saw this thing that looks just like that drift in between 2 clouds perfectly as if it were meant for God and everybody to see. As quiet as anything. And the thing that's really wild here is it was exactly 8 miles as the crow flies from the Iowa Air National Guard command and control tower.
In broad daylight. So you're saying it's broad daylight, right? Is that
Broad daylight, yes.
All right, I got that.
Okay,
Well, I mean,
okay.
I got that.
Dusk, but broad daylight.
I got that up on YouTube.
So as Jim brings up on YouTube, we talked about it 2 weeks ago, I think it was. Something
Now, when they're looking at this, that's not the craft itself. Okay, so
I don't think it
that's
is.
a petrosphere. No, it's not. That's a petrosphere, and I want people to, be able to clarify what I'm talking about here. A petrosphere is a sphere that was made. They don't know what they're made for, what so on and so forth. But from what I've seen, man, that's what I saw in the sky. And
how big did it look?
That's
I'm asking.
Like I said, if I had to guess, you take 4 four single story houses, or maybe 2 or 3 duplexes, put them together, about that big. I mean, if I had to guess, you know, I mean, it was in between the clouds. I can't tell exactly how. I mean, it was big enough to where it was not just something tiny. I'll give it that.
Spectacle at that point. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So what we brought up a couple of weeks ago, what I brought up, we were talking about this kind of thing because we were talking about drones in New Jersey on the show in Rio, and Rio was talking specifically because he's there, right?
Yeah.
Seeing them, and I brought up how I saw something in Charleston, South Carolina. I was stationed on submarines in the Navy, and I walked to the mall. It's like a couple miles, but I was a young guy, you know, and I walked to the mall. It's like miles away, right? But what else am I going to do, right? So I'm just walking down there, and I'm walking back, and it's late afternoon, and it's dusk, right? And this thing comes overhead. There's no noise. Now, mind you, there's an Air Force base nearby. So there's Charleston Naval Station was there, and there's a Air Force station there. I forget the name of the station right now, you know, but I can confuse it pretty easily if I think about it. But the thing is, there is a Naval Air Base nearby. But what the thing was this. It looked like 2 football fields, literally like 2 football fields, and it was amber lights, and it was rows of amber. It's like amber, yeah, and they were on panels. Imagine like panels, almost like the old Skylab kind of thing, almost. It's moving totally silently. There's 2 of these panels, and there's like 3 or 4 rows, probably maybe 4 rows on each side, extended out rectangular. Probably 12 on each side, and it just soars overhead totally silently. And I'm pointing because it's rush hour in Charleston, South Carolina, and I'm pointing at the sky. So I'm walking, and nobody's really noticing because it's right. You know, everybody should be able to see this, right? You think people are going over, and I'm pointing up, and what was weird was as it passed overhead. It reached, like, if you imagine like going 12 o'clock, you know, overhead, and like if you imagine it's being in front of you instead of like a standard clock, and it's going 1, 2, 3, you know, the horizon, right? At about 3 o'clock, it completely disappears, and it's freaking huge. It's
listen, I don't know if you know this.
It's like 8 feet of your vision, like you would.
Both of you guys,
right now, it's huge.
Both of you, John and Epic Journeyman, are both. Really like the aviation. Epic doesn't know that you were, you know, going to be a pilot and stuff, and Epic, John, you know, is interested.
I was going to be a pilot too. Yeah.
All right, listen. Here's this Chinese robot. Looks like this thing has an operator, though. Looks like you got to operate this thing.
Still don't want to chase the man.
About to get rolled over. What the fuck happened to your leg? I got rolled over by.
I'm laughing too, man. Some tweeners controlling this freaking
I know.
robot.
Did you see that dude with the controller?
Yeah.
It was the guy with the controller, and I was thinking to myself, they're saying, "Hey, Billy, get out here with that fucking controller and make that thing go down there. We need to get some. We need to get some video. You know, it's like during.
You even see like in the drone videos, these guys are flying these things with Xbox controllers.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I mean. You just think it's all by itself.
How easy is it to program it like a video game?
If you don't
exactly, the autonomy will soon be to where that thing can go out and police the streets without a problem.
Exactly, it's already there. You would imagine, at this point. But you know, the thing is, like, I mean, would there be a reason to make us think that these robots could do anything more than they really do? Because honestly, there's no way to know if there's a guy on a controller if he's not in the picture. You could be having these robots do anything and making us think that they're, oh yeah, look at these robots fucking operating by
like
themselves.
You was talking about the programs that they were working on there with the military. I mean, I know the Chinese have developed this technology. I mean, it's the point. I mean, What is it that's going to have to happen, like to make all hell break loose for every single army on the earth to release whatever they've got that they've been working on for, that we,
Dude,
you can't even begin to fathom.
And here's the thing. You could just have this other set of robots that just comes around and picks up the pieces from the 50 caliber machine guns that took a bunch of these things out. You just come around, collect the arms.
Casey's taking care of the evidence, right? Yeah.
Collect. They just come on and you just go, come on, John.
Recycling them to new 50 cal rounds.
We looked through your walls with ultra wideband and we can tell you got a shotgun leaning against the door. John, don't make
that's
any...
what technology is, what they've got. I mean, they've got that capability from satellite, and then you've got the HAL balloons and Raven Aerostar and TCOM Holdings, and then the Loyal Wingman Project. All these things, man, this weapons race. Why in the hell do we have this weapons race like this? And the Chinese just released introduced to the world, a 6th generation fighter, stealth fighter, and a Mach 7 drone.
I thought we were going to talk about the show today, actually, there, John. And I looked into that quite a bit, and I don't think that's a 6th generation fighter. What I think it is their equivalent of the B-21 bomber. It's an attack aircraft. It's a stealth attack aircraft. It's huge, man. It's like 30 feet longer than an F-14. It's big.
Well,
it's big.
There's a test facility close to the Mongolian border there in China, and it's basically China's Area 51. And they've got this one specific facility. You can see it on Google Earth, and I mean, you can see these craft that they're testing. I mean, it's an extremely short, small runway, triangular shaped craft. I mean, I'd say maybe the size of a car. But what I'm getting at, this is a weapons race to the likes of which is going to make.
Where'd you go, John?
We lost you.
John disappeared.
I don't think he disappeared. His connection.
No, yeah, that's what I mean.
But we'll talk about that because I think we're going to talk about it. I thought today anyway a little bit. And the thing is, China released this video of this plane with landing gear down. It's obviously a 5th generation fighter, if not a 6th generation fighter, and it has no control surfaces. It's a flying wing, just like the B-21 is, but it has 10 canards, but downward control surfaces for controlling its yaw and stuff. But the thing is, it has 3 engines. And it's the Chengdu Dragon stealth fighter, which isn't really that stealth. Uses the same engines. It's really super loud.
All right, listen.
Yeah, I don't think it's equivalent of our next generation 6th generation fighter at all. I think it's just specifically their answer to our B-21 Raider bomber. It's their stealth bomber.
All right,
it's an attack airplane.
Listen, I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed to us staying on here for a while. Okay, so hang on a second. Rockin Rio, are you good to stay on here for a while?
Yeah.
All right, now did John disconnect?
We should do our
right, yeah, we should. Did John disconnect? He'll probably come.
Yeah, he dropped off. Maybe his battery died or something.
No, he's got
his battery probably died because
sometimes he's got internet issues.
Off, yeah.
Sometimes he gets internet issues. So he'll come back. So why don't we take a quick break, and then what you want to talk about the future? Or you want to talk about what the top 10 stories of the year? What do you guys want to talk about?
Well, whatever. Yeah.
All right. Well, look, I don't want to put you. Oh, fuck. I don't want to put you on the spot. Fuck. All right.
Sorry, I was muted.
No, that's all right. Okay, listen.
Super awesome predictions, but I do have some.
All right. Well, we'll make our predictions. How about that?
The New Year's show, right? Yeah, of course.
All right. So listen, hold on a second. I'm trying to get back here because we were talking about it before. Oh, jeez. It's all too much. Oh, okay, here we are. All right. So we were talking about it before. So here comes this. Here's a bunch of dudes in a room. And I'm telling you, man, that dude on the drums, that snare, makes this whole song. The fuck's going on?
I hear it in my mind, though.
I can hear it in my mind's eye. In my mind's eye, I always go back to San Diego, my friend. This ain't it. What the fuck happened here? Hold on. Man, there's like...
What was that?
It's called...
That was Alan Parsons' project.
The Turn of a Friendly Card.
Cards, yeah.
I've never heard it before, and I can see why. Okay, hang on.
Actually, that's a pretty good album. Actually.
It bummed me out.
It's a sword.
But I know I was just feeling good and energetic, and now I feel bummed out and depressed. Let's get back to what we were doing here.
Did we miss a verse or something? Yeah, we did. Sorry. Can we drop in?
Okay, let's take it from, when do we do a...
The ball!
Everybody's talking, no one says a word. Everybody's making love, no one really cares. There's napkins in the bathroom, just below the stairs. Always something happening, and nothing going on. There's always something cooking, and nothing in the pot. They're starving back in China, so finish what you got. Nobody told me there'd be days like these. Nobody told me there'd be days like these. Nobody told me there'd be days like these. Strange days indeed. Strange days indeed. Everybody's running, and no one makes a move. Well, everybody's a winner, I have nothing left to lose. There's a little yellow idol to the north of Kathmandu. Everybody's flying, and no one leaves the ground. Well, everybody's crying, and no one makes a sound. It's a place for us in movies, you just gotta lay around. Nobody told me there'd be days like these. Nobody told me there'd be days like these. Nobody told me there'd be days like these. Strange days indeed. Most peculiar, mama. Everybody's smoking, and no one's getting high. Everybody's flying, and never touch the sky. There's UFOs over New York, and I ain't too surprised. Nobody told me there'd be days.
He just said UFOs over New York, and I'm not surprised. He was a prophet, man. He was a prophet. It's Saturday night, chilluminatti. We're going into overdrive. All right. Rio, are we in overdrive?
I think so.
We need more power, Rio. Rio, God damn it, we need more power. Our force fields are down, son.
Well, I think there's a Tesla supercharger up the street here.
All right, then.
So the shields won't be down for long. Yeah. You know, I mean, that album was played, that's from Band on the Run, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that from Band on the Run?
Yeah.
That's a great album, man. People neglect it a lot, but that is the best post-Beatles album that McCartney ever did.
That's the best fall.
That fall ever did, yeah.
It's the best fall.
Yeah, right.
That Billy ever made. That's Billy's best album.
right. No, it is. And there's a weird thing about Band on the Run. I think we mentioned it in the previous show, but maybe we didn't. You know, I alluded to it. But the idea is the people on the album cover are with the light on them. The light is Illuminati, right? Those are all at that time, like people who were considered to be at that time, like in the Illuminati, right? James Coburn and, you know, Paul and people in the band and all that stuff, right? It's not necessarily true. It was like a nod to the conspiracies, even at that time, even considered them conspiracies. Maybe they're not conspiracies, right? But that's what that was. So the spotlight on the album, the people go back and look at that album cover. If people haven't seen it in a long time. Yeah, dude. It's actually pretty amazing. We consider the work they did after that album. Like in the case of James Coburn, for example, in like Flint movies, but he also did the President's Analyst and all these movies, right? That really, really, really brought in this idea of electronic control of people and all this kind of things. I mean, it's amazing, actually.
It is amazing.
So go back and look at it.
All right, predictions.
It is.
Who's going first? Predictions.
Well, John dropped his prediction in the chat here.
Oh, John, go ahead, bring it on, man.
Well, tell him.
Well, he did not rejoin us, but I think he's disconnected for now.
Yeah, because he did a show right before he was doing his show.
Oh, okay. So he's doing work.
Yeah.
But his prediction for 2025 says Peter Ducey will be the White House press secretary.
I think they already have one, right? Is somebody? I was surprised it wasn't Carrie Lake, but it's all WWE stuff, man.
It's fucking crazy, dude. It's literally, it's literally crazy. All right.
No, it is. It's WWE total.
It is.
Top.
It is. All right. So, who's making their predictions? Now, Rio. Now, was your prediction correct? I think your prediction from last year was correct, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. I think last year my prediction was that 2024 would be fairly uneventful up until around the election. Of course, the drama surrounding that, but then it will really, things will start to ramp up, but nothing really bizarre is going to happen until 2025. And I think this year is the year that, the AI takes off, the possibility of alien disclosure. I think this is when the insanity starts to wrap up. This is when we start to see, the implementation of the mark system, all that stuff. I think Trump getting back in is like the confirmation sign of, the end is near, Jimmy. But I think it's really going to ramp up this year. And of course, they're working on another 2020 situation. And I think that it will be stepped up from what it was last time. The lockdowns will be a little more severe. The mandatory compliance will be more severe.
Well, that lady, that Dr. Bix, she was on CNN saying there's going to be a Michelle Pfeiffer event right at the beginning of 2025. And so here in California, they already declared an emergency around the bird flu.
Oh yeah. I don't think it. Well, it's not H1N1 right now. It's H1E or something. It's a different variant.
It's on the Economist cover. Yeah, exactly.
H1N1, H151. Immigrants. What is it? H15 visa.
Yeah,
pretty similar, right?
So my prediction is that all the prep that's gone on in 2024 is going to ramp up to full throttle in 25, and we're definitely going to see some more chaos this year.
All right. Well, Epic Journeyman, what about you, man? What's your prediction?
Well, I thought about it, and I remember 2022 going into 2023. My prediction was that China would betray Russia and try to take that territory back, and I was wrong. It didn't happen. But my 2024 prediction was, I think, pretty tame. I have to go back and look at it, but nothing major that I can recall.
Well, what about 2025?
Pardon me, I had to burp there. So for 2025, what I think, I gave some thought to it today. Actually, so to speak, meditated on the situation, and I thought about that Economist cover about the solar flare in the big celestial event, and what looked like a big volcanic eruption or nuclear explosion. And I thought, it's like they're if they have any knowledge about this, that's what they're hinting at, right? And I thought maybe I'd predict that something like that would happen. Like there'd be some kind of disruption in global communications. And when I went back and thought about it again, what I came up with was actually something that equates to what was called the Great Disappointment of 1844 with Millerism, where they predicted the rapture was going to happen on October 22nd, 1844, and it didn't happen. And people had sold their farms and all this stuff, and nothing happened. And it's called the Great Disappointment. And so what I'm thinking about 2025 is it's going to be move between two names for it: the great withdrawal or the great contemplation. What I mean by that is the withdrawal aspect is people just withdraw from media, withdraw from globalistic means of press or anything else, and just focus on their communities because they're tired of it all. Right, and just focus on what the things that can affect are. That's a great withdrawal. But when I thought about it more, I thought, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think more likely it's going to be the great contemplation. In the great contemplation, and so let's call this a term. We'll go back and rewind it for next year. We'll do this. The great contemplation is that people are realizing they've been played, right? They've been played, man. We've all been played. We should have known that a long time ago, but we all said that. We all said that, whichever side of the political spectrum you're on, you're being played, right? No, but it's different than that now. Now you can obviously see that Trump was selling out to the tech bros, right? You can obviously see he lied to you the whole time. You can obviously see that this plan is going forward regardless of who you ever voted for, right? So the great contemplation is this. Are you going to have a Luigi Revolution moment or aren't you? Is society? It's a global event. It's not a United States thing. It's a global thing. Are people globally going to finally say, like, we're tired of this, man? We're tired of this. Who's the enemy? It's the frickin' billionaire class trying to overreach and control all of this, right? And at some point,
right out in front, man.
That's what it is.
They're standing right there. Vivek Ramaswamy. Elon Musk, billionaires.
They're right in front of us. Exactly. It's not like they're hiding it, right?
Fuck. They're sitting up there going, "Yeah, we're gonna trim your haircuts now. Get ready for a haircut.
We're taking your Social Security. We're taking your Medicare. Yeah, screw you guys."
I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what. I just don't like Elon Musk wearing that costume. I don't care. You can say what you want to say about him wearing it. I'm saying it might be just like the gargoyle at the Denver airport, dude. It seems like a joke, but really, there's nothing funny about it at all. I'm going to start emphasizing shit I say with hard rock riffs, dude. It's like everywhere I go, there'll just be hard rock riffs piping in on speakers from you won't even know where the speakers are.
That's like a comedian. Every time he makes a joke, you get the boom, right? You're gonna go like.
I'm thinking more like one extra shot in my coffee, you know.
All right, so I think I predicted Michelle Obama was going to be the candidate against Trumpists, and I think maybe my antennae might have been off a little bit. I was detecting female presence, and maybe I just mistakenly picked up on Michelle Obama because she seemed like the obvious one. But I was wrong. I admit it. It wasn't.
Well, I wouldn't count her out for the next round. You know,
I
maybe in a couple of years.
I don't think from this point forward anything is going to look like it has ever looked. This is one of my predictions. From this point forward, we will never ever go through what we just went through with this whole thing and this elections and this whole political scenarios. This is over with. Because like I said earlier, we're moving into an age where there used to be a political reason to pander to labor because you needed people to do shit. You needed people to work. But they don't need you to work anymore. I mean, the whole baby boom was about building workers, you know, getting people to get in here and build shit up. And so, like, once it's all built up, then at that point, you just need to maintain that shit. And so we passed the maintenance stage, and we're moving into a stage where we're not even needed at all. And so that's going to make the whole political landscape look different.
Well, yeah. I mean, once the robots take over the jobs, right? Then
that's what I'm saying. They don't. So in other words, there's going to have to be a new way of moving into the future, and I think we are on the precipice of that. And I think things will accelerate in 2025, moving to the future. I think we're going to see positive ID. I think we're going to see cryptocurrency. I think there's a possibility we may see another Michelle Pfeiffer incident.
Yeah, I agree with you on all three of those points.
So we'll see what happens, and we are at the wild, wild west of what's about to happen, and so a lot of what's going on right now, no one knows how to fuck with it. There's no AI experts out there rolling around. So this is the moment in time where you can jump into something from this point forward and move from here to there, and that might make you a lot of money in different ways. There's a lot of ways, and we talked a little bit about last night. These AI agents, you can literally build a company with AI agents that does nothing, but each one does a certain thing, and that's it. And you just project manage that shit, and you're just sitting there making money, however you're making it. You know. Anyways, that's my prediction. So I don't feel like World War III. We're on the precipice of it. I don't feel that, but I always do get nervous with these Michelle Pfeiffer incidents because I always think of that Omega Man movie that was remade with Will Smith, and when he's in the city,
I Am Legend.
Yeah, I Am Legend. He's in the city. All the Christmas decorations are still up and all the shit, but everybody's dead.
The Matheson book. It was a Matheson book, right? Richard Matheson, isn't that right? But anyway, yeah, it was a Mega Man. It was I Am Legend, and like we said in the show in the past, when it turns out, if it's a book, if you actually read the novel, he's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. He's the guy who didn't adapt. All the other people adapted, right?
Exactly.
These guys went around killing everybody.
Well, just also remember, since you're on the movie references, there's Lockdown 2025 too.
Yeah, really.
Then that's a good movie to watch if you want to.
I'll check.
A little predictive programming in that.
Where is it? Is it on Netflix?
I'm not sure what it's on. I think I actually watched it through like Spectrum on Demand or something.
All right. Well, listen, it's 9:30. It's time to get GTFO, homies. I got to get up in the morning and do wake and bake. And it sounds like it's going to be raining from what I can see. But did you guys have anything else?
Big waves.
Did you guys? Yeah, did you guys? Yeah, actually, we do have a big waves warning coming in. Do you guys have anything else you want to add before we?
No, I'm kind of with both of you. I when I was thinking about it today, this is the first year I've thought there's nothing major going to happen in the sense that it's going to be oppressive or on everybody's mind, and that's why I called it like either the Great Withdrawal or the Great Contemplation. It's like this time of just people thinking about things, and that's what I think is going to happen. I think that people are going to just say, why are we listening to everybody else, man? It's going to be more
why do you got to listen to anybody? You don't need to. You don't even. I mean, literally, the potential of what's available to you with just asking ChatGPT a question. the world should be your oyster at this point. If you can't use ChatGPT to make the world your oyster, something's wrong. I mean, I don't care what it is. If you got a legal question, if you got a medical question, I'm not saying it's a doctor. I'm saying your chances of asking it a medical question and getting an answer, it's pretty close to whatever answer you would get from a doctor if you went through all these tests and all this other shit.
Yeah, I mean, the accuracy is becoming outrageous.
That's what I mean. And I mean, once it gets to that point, you know, I was trying to figure out why they would let people have access to these AI agents and be able to make money like the big stock market boys have been doing for all these years with this electronic trading. And the only thing I could come up with is at some point you won't be able to do that as a regular person. Like at some point your devices and your computers at your house and all this, they won't be capable of doing that. You get the internet, you can do all this and that, but there'll be certain things that device won't be able to do. Because
you think they'll actually lock us out of certain functions?
I do. I do. And the thing is as you're being born, you don't know those functions ever existed. In other words, if you were born after 9/11, you don't know what it was like before that. So you don't know what it was like to be, you know, more free and this and that. But that's how it's been since you've been alive, okay? So to you, that's how it is. So in the future, when these computers get super fast and they can do anything and so on and so forth, there's no need for you to have a hard drive where you're keeping information, you know. There's no need for you to have any of it because it's all software.
Yeah, everything will be a thin client, right?
Exactly. So I don't know, but here's what I'm saying right now. You got some years before that's going to happen. And so that's what I'm saying. Right now it's the wild, wild west. And fucking grab yourself an AI and go do something with it, man. I'm telling you right now. I'm just making that recommendation for 2025. You know what I mean? Especially like, what if you get hung up at the house or whatever? You might be able to make yourself some, you know, you have to sit at the house or whatever, make some passive income. I don't know.
You know, I know it's not the exact lyric, but going back to Band on the Run, anyone left alive in 2025 still alive.
I emphasized what I said with a hard rock.
There you go. Hey, are we gonna do a Tuesday night broadcast?
We could if you're available.
Well, I will be flying back on Tuesday night, but I should be around. I should get back to my house somewhere around 11 o'clock New York time. So we could do the ball drop if you're so inclined.
Yeah, let's do it. So what I'm saying is, if you want to start like say you always wanted to start a bakery, okay, you could go to ChatGPT and say, what do I have to do to start a bakery? And it'll tell you everything you have to do. It'll literally give you a list, step by step. And if you follow that list, you could open up a bakery, you know? So it's whatever. I mean, you can ask it anything. Why not? Why wouldn't you ask it if you had the ability to? And then at the point that everybody has that ability, would you say then the playing field is now leveled? So in other words, there's people out there that haven't had access to certain kinds of educations and certain kinds of this or that's. And it's only because their lack of knowledge. Didn't they say my people die for lack of knowledge or something? Isn't that a quote? But anyways, so the thing is...
It's actually from the Bible. Yeah.
I know. But so the thing is, though, what I'm saying to you is, so because of that, there's been this this separation between this and that. So if you had enough money and you were smart enough, you could have gotten into certain schools that would have made you even smarter, and so on and so forth. But now everybody, and like we were saying earlier, anybody can play music, anybody can take video, anybody can da-da-da-da. Well, now, there you go. You can just do this. Everybody's got a big brain. Everybody's checking out the big brain on Brad. Maybe that's what we should call.
Yeah, check out the big brain on Brad.
Maybe that's what we should. Maybe that's what we should be calling from now on when we access the AI on the show. Maybe we should call it Brad.
The big brain on Brad. Yeah, maybe, man.
How about this?
Yeah.
And then when we're gonna bring in the AI, I'll play a clip. I'll play the clip from Pulp Fiction where it says, "Check out the big brain on Brad." Yeah, I was gonna do a retrospective of everything from this year. Where's the beef? Go get your shine box. It is balloon.
Yeah.
Well, It Is Balloon has to come in there still because I mean, that was crazy, man. I mean, that people. This is just weird to me. Like as we sign off tonight, we kind of are winding it down. But what people don't seem to remember is how big of a deal that was, right? That was the New Jersey drone situation before the New Jersey drone situation. And it was huge. It dominated the news cycle everywhere, all the time. And now, it was a bigger deal. Like you had F-22s going and shooting them down, right? And we're talking about hobbyist drones and aircraft approaching the runway that haven't been shut down, thank God, apparently. And that just suddenly vanished. It's all good. I mean,
well, they did actually shoot one down in New York the other day in the harbor.
They shot it down.
Long Island. Yeah, they actually got one. They shot it down with a missile.
Did they say, "Put your hands over your head, you green bastard"?
No, some dude on a boat just happened to catch it on his cell phone.
Oh.
But what I'm saying is, do we have it in our custody in what we call reliable news sources? We don't yet, right? So I mean, the two things compared against each other. The balloon, man, they tracked it across the continent. They shot that one down. They shot down two more, right, with F-22 frickin' fighters, right? And our best airplane.
Hey, I'm telling you, man. Pay attention to that yelling announcement between those dates. Between those dates, I would make sure I got my fucking cash out of the bank. I'm not saying take all your money out of the bank. What I'm saying is, if something weird goes down with whatever they're doing, you want to make sure you got some cash, so you can
keep a little something under the mattress just in case.
Exactly.
Just in case, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's a weird announcement. Here, let me read the language to it again before we leave. And here's the dates. It says, U.S. Treasury Secretary Yellen, quote, "The Treasury expects to reach new limit between January 14th and January 23rd, at which time it will be necessary for the Treasury to start taking extraordinary measures." Okay, I don't know what the fuck new limit means, so I'm going to search that real quick. Hold on.
And what are those extraordinary measures?
What is a new limit?
Except maybe doing away with the dollar.
Well, going back to the balloons, right? But like it was a balloon, man. Why are you spending all that money sending an F-22 up there to shoot it down, and then shooting a missile after it? This $200,000, and then it's a balloon, man.
Okay,
Cool.
So what they're saying, the limit is, it says extraordinary measures needed by mid-January to keep U.S. from defaulting on its national debt. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen warns Congress extraordinary measures will be needed to keep the U.S. from defaulting on its obligation of the nation's debt ceiling if it isn't raised by mid-January. Now, has the debt ceiling been raised?
Oh, I don't know.
No, it is not.
Okay, so then coming up here, hang on. So it says, Yellen, in a letter to House Senate leaders, noted the nation's debt ceiling, the total amount of money the federal government is authorized to borrow to pay obligations such as Social Security, Medicare benefits was suspended in June 2023, but will once again be in effect on January 1st. Treasury Secretary notified that projected $54 billion drop in the national debt from January 2nd will propel lawmakers an extra couple of weeks to pursue legislative action. Reach a new limit between January, so Treasury currently expects to reach a new limit between January 14th and January 23rd, at which time it will be necessary for Treasury to start taking extraordinary measures, Yellen wrote. I respectfully urge Congress to act and protect in full faith and credit of the United States, she added. Yellen's, man, this is the kind of shit where they do haircuts, where they take people's money.
The thing is, too, is who do we owe it to? We owe it to the Federal Reserve, and they get to decide, how much more they're going to give us so that they can make more money. It's like this imaginary cycle that they just put in place to, keep generating themselves the money. It's just weird how the whole system
thing
is
is,
set
man,
up.
I just remember that whole Greek banking shit that fucking caught fire and everybody's money got taken.
Mm-hmm.
They called it a haircut.
Yeah.
And I think Finland was the only country in the world that didn't do it over there, that was affected by it. I think they went berserker and they stopped it. I forget what it was, man. Now, it's, like I said, it's like a fog. All right, you guys ready to get out? Let's go. We gotta go, man. I gotta get out immediately, if not sooner.
Yeah.
You ready to exit? Well, listen, man. Why don't you just come on with me tomorrow for Wake and Bake?
I won't be around tomorrow.
Oh, you won't? Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, listen. I'll be out of here right now. You guys ready to go? Here we go. Ready? Okay.
Yep.
Let's go. Epic Journeyman. Epic Journeyman. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, say goodbye because we're out of here.
Goodbye, because we're out of here. Yeah, man. Sure.
You've heard me say it before, and I'm going to keep saying it.
Good night, everybody. Take care. See you soon.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Reach out, touch space. You're wrong. do the test. These solutions